I'm going to let him introduce himself, and feel free to stop him and ask a question if something doesn't make sense. What did I say earlier? Any question is a good question, correct? Dr. Fabry, thank you.
Thank you. Let me get this PowerPoint set up here real quick. All right. Well, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Jeremiah Fabry, and it's a privilege to be here. It's always an honor to be able to have a discussion with anybody who is passionate about their own health and about their well-being. And so this topic today, if that's you, this is going to be something that you're really interested in. How many people brought blood work with them today? Okay, so we've got quite a few. So I had you bring that on purpose because I'm all about people being their own advocate. Okay, so when it comes to your health, nobody knows your body better than you know your body. You need to be involved in the conversation. So I created a series called Be Your Own Advocate. Today we're going to focus in on the physical exam portion. And with the time we have, we're going to kind of narrow that down even further, and we're going to focus in on the blood work portion of that. Okay. So what I wanted you to bring yours with you for is to see what does your section of blood work look like when you go to the physical every year, so you can relate that information from place to place. All right. By show of hands, how many people in here in the last 12 months have done their annual physical with their primary care doctor? Okay. Yeah, last 12 months. Someone tell me, how about you? What did you expect to get out of that? Did you find what you were looking for when you went?
Yes. My problem is that in the practice I'm in now, the GPs turn over so rapidly. Because family asks for someone who's leaving, why they're leaving, and because the salary level for the primary care physicians is so low.
Right. So then when you did your physical exam, and the information that you got during that exam, was that helpful to you?
Oh, yes, it was. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, why it was turnover. So there's a big deal. So actually, that's a great point that I don't even have in here. But the fact that he's saying, he's seeing a lot of turnover in his primary care doctors. So what a better reason for you to be able to kind of look at some of this information and take it with you as you go from doctor to doctor to doctor, right? So that's really the idea here. I think, there was a lot of people in here that didn't raise their hands too. And I remember, especially back in my 20s, this probably applied more so, but, I didn't go every year either. And there were a couple of reasons. I didn't do it, maybe because there was a cost factor in terms of time and in terms of money. Maybe I didn't do it because I didn't feel like I was getting anything worthwhile out of it. I go spend an hour at this physical exam, and at the end, the nurse maybe would call me or would call me and say, hey, everything looks good, keep doing what you're doing. I mean, what do I do with that, right? So, for me, it really wasn't a matter of I was gaining anything with it from my exam. I would say there's two thoughts when it pertains to that. So starting in 2017, it's now mandated that your insurance company, regardless of who they are, has to cover your annual physicals, okay? They have to cover your preventative care, and that's outside of the deductible. So the cost factor, that's out the window, okay? So that's point one. And then point two, like what I'm hoping to do today, and I hope you continue to explore amongst yourselves, is giving you tools so that you can take the information that you receive during those physical exams, and you can make decisions about your health, because you need to be involved in that. Now, how many in here have ever remodeled the kitchen before? Yeah, quite a few people. It can be a frustrating process, right? Because you have your needs, you have your wants. We have to put together a team of experts to accomplish this, right? You don't have to know how to run electrical wires. You don't have to know how to lay the plumbing or install the cabinets, but you kind of have to have a general idea about what you're looking for. So I would say, as you assemble this team, who is the most important person on that team? Is it the electrician? Because without the electrician, you don't have lights. Maybe the refrigerator isn't working. Or maybe it's the plumber. If you don't have the plumber, there's no sink. You can't wash your hands. You can't clean food. Or maybe it's the guy who's doing the cabinetry, right? If you have no place to put all your stuff. Well, I would argue that the most important person on the team is actually you, okay? Because you're the one that has the vision. You're the one who knows what you need and what you want. It wouldn't make any sense for you to walk into a room full of these experts and say to them, all right, listen, I need the kitchen remodeled. Call me when you're finished. You're not going to get what you need or what you want. You might not get anything at all because they're not going to know what to do. You have to have the person with the vision. They don't have to know everything, but they have to know what the vision is so that they can guide the process. And I don't know why we see that so different from when we're looking at our own bodies and our own health care. But we do. I mean, I remember I had a patient call me a while back, and they wanted to know, at your clinic, what do you do that's different? I hear everybody kind of talking about this place, and it's different. What is it? Explain it to me. And this is what I explain to them, I want you to be your own advocate. I don't want you to come in here and just accept the status quo. I want you to learn about what we're trying to accomplish. If I run blood work, I want to tell you why I ordered that blood work. I want to show you what I'm looking for. And he put up his hands, he said, oh, never mind, I don't need that. That's not what I'm looking for. I've been to my cardiologist this year. I've been to my primary care doctor. They told me, everything looks good. Keep doing what I'm doing. I'm a model patient. I don't know why he didn't want to take an active role in his own health care, but to him, it was enough. But again, I argue the fact that no matter what your thought is on that, you are the most important member, whether you like it or not. So you're going to assemble a team based on your goals. It might be a primary care doctor. It might be specialists, right? It might be therapists and counselors and coaches. And it's really based on what you need, and you're bringing this team together. But at the end of the day, you're the one that has the vision. And if you think about it, when you're remodeling a kitchen, you know everything about those kitchens and the latest, efficiency and economy and where people are putting their ovens now and triangle with their refrigerators. Like, you learn all of these things at a basic level. But when it comes to our health, it's, everything looks good, keep doing what you're doing. What does that even mean? You've got no information to go on. So, today, when we're finished up, the main focus that I'm going to spend our time on is going to be on the lipid panel portion of your blood work. And my goal is that you walk away from that with just enough basic level information to be able to have an educated discussion with the people on your healthcare team and use that information to learn a little bit about yourself and make decisions, all right? So here we have what you're going to find in a standard lipid panel. And it's not a lot of information you can see over here. It's a pretty small setback. But it is valuable information. It tells you about how your body is processing energy. It tells you about how your body is functioning, how your metabolism is functioning. There's a lot there. So we'll dig into a few pieces of this. On here, you're going to find three categories. You're going to find your total cholesterol. You're going to find your lipoproteins, number 2. So that would be like your HDL and your LDL. And you're going to find your triglyceride. Okay? So for the sake of time today, our main focus is going to be on the first two categories, the total cholesterol and the lipoproteins. So we'll start in with total cholesterol. Before I get into that, you guys can just shout it out. What does cholesterol do? Anybody? First thought that comes to your mind. Clogs your arteries. Gives energy. I like that. Anyone else?
Necessary for living.
Let's look at this. All right. So, are we all on the answers we got? Clogs your arteries, energy, necessary for living. Is everybody in here fall under one of those categories or both of those categories when they're talking about cholesterol? Do y'all agree with that? Okay. So it's a great springboard, okay? Cholesterol, what is it? It's a lipid molecule, okay? It is. It's fatty. And it flows through your body, and it delivers energy. And it also is the building block of every single cell in your body. So really great answers when it comes to that. We also do see it in heart disease and cardiovascular disease. So how does all that come together? You know, why in one sense do we see it as something that's relatively good, and in another sense we see it as a big problem? And we hear a lot about it in the news, right? Well, when it comes down to it, cholesterol, it's the bricks and mortar, okay? It makes up the walls of almost every single cell in your body, so it's fundamental to life, okay? Cholesterol is fiercely regulated within your system. So that's important to know. Your body does it. In fact, if you're not eating it, your body's going to make it if you need it. All right? And then finally, just like any other fatty or oily substance, cholesterol and water don't really mix. Well, think about, how does energy get places in your body? It flows through your blood. And your blood is mostly water. So what happens is, your liver will package up your cholesterol molecules into protein packages. They're kind of like little balloon cargo ships, and will allow the cholesterol molecules then to be dissolved in your blood and carried where they need to go to be used for energy or rebuilding. So that's really neat. So how do we get the total cholesterol number that you see on in your lipid panel? Okay, the cholesterol number, just like this piñata here. We go into the lab and we smash open all of those protein packages, and we lay out all the cholesterol on the table, and we count it. And that's how we come up with the number. All right, so next, the lipoproteins. So I think a lot of times I get it, people with a little misconception here. We talk about LDL cholesterol and HDL cholesterol, and the truth of the matter is that they are lipoproteins. They are the protein packages. So when I say LDL, I'm saying low density lipoprotein, which means it has a lower density than water. And when I say HDL, I'm saying high density lipoprotein, which means it has a higher density than water. So neither of those things are actually cholesterol. But now, hopefully, whenever you see those, you can think in your mind, those are the packages that carry the cholesterol, so the cholesterol can travel in your blood. Now, it's interesting because when the liver makes these, and you can see them over here, they're at the liver's receptor sites, they look just like that, kind of like a balloon. And as the liver loads up materials onto these, they grow. Okay, so the newer, younger ones are very large. Those are very efficient. They operate really well. And as they deliver materials throughout the body, they get smaller. The first kind that we come to is the HDL. And I'd be amiss to not address the fact that we call it the good cholesterol, okay? And I'm not really fond of labeling things the good or the bad, because there's always a good and a bad side to almost everything. But when it comes to HDL, why do we call it that? Well, just imagine that you're looking out over a factory floor, and you see all of these workers in gray shirts. And then every once in a while you see a navy blue shirt. Well, those people are the managers. They're managing the people in the gray shirts. Well, that's essentially what HDL is doing in our body in a very generalized sense. It's managing the workload, it's managing the distribution of energy. So you could see how that could be a good thing. So the HDL, because in most cases, it's going to end up helping in the distribution of energy, it's called the good cholesterol. It's very easily identifiable. An HDL molecule all the way back into the 40s, they were able to immediately identify it in the lab. Okay, that's an HDL, and they could give us an accurate count. So that comes very easily. Moving on to LDL cholesterol. LDL cholesterol are like all the guys in the gray shirts in the factory. It does the heavy lifting.